How you doing today, buddy? Are we in this? Oh, we're in this.
Yeah, we are.
You guys, for you guys live right now, this setup is quite ridiculous. So we're in Gabe's home office. We're going to be talking IT today. I'm excited about that. We haven't really talked that much.
No, not at all.
I don't even know what to talk about so much IT. But first, hold on, before you get comfortable, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry I'm doing this right now after you just got there.
Yeah.
So don't move. But go get this puppy.
All
Gabe's
right.
got a new puppy, and we got to show it off. This is the cutest thing on the planet. I promise you, it's so cute. So tick tock, tick tock. Bro, what is his name?
This is a Louie.
Oh my god. Guys, if y'all don't think this is the cutest thing on the planet, like look at this thing. Michelle, if you're watching this, it's going home with me. Just gonna let you know that. Alright. Let's put Louie back. But I love Louie and I can kidnap Louie. So Michelle, for my birthday, I'm gonna need Louie like ASAP.
Oh, that was fun.
Okay. Now back to your regular scheduled post. So we've been slacking on the podcast the last 2 weeks. Just I was sick, and then last week we were out of town at a convention. It was just crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we decided just to do one in your office while you're traveling back and forth. This is funny story. Earlier, we're heading to pick up a car, riding around talking about what we're going to be talking about today, and Gabe gets a phone call and it's like, yeah, I'll fly out to the White House on Friday. I'll be there. And I'm like, bro, what in the world just happened? He's like, oh, well, work called. So for everybody that don't know, Gabe does a lot of work up north where we all, it's very important for our life. So a little plug for you, shameless plug.
Yeah, shameless plug. How dare you?
How dare me?
How dare you, sir?
So dude, let's talk IT and business, right?
Absolutely.
What's a really important factor that you see going into these small businesses that leave themselves open or something they should do that they need to worry about?
It's just, to me, it'll depend on the kind of business you walk into, right? So, first and foremost, security is my number one thing. I come from a cybersecurity background, so I take security rather serious. And something as simple as how you set up your network or your wireless network could be so simple for you to protect yourself, protect your business, and stuff like that. Now, if you have a business that you need to give them a guest Wi-Fi, then yeah, you can do that, but you can segregate that from your main network too.
So what you're saying is if like you're going into a office and there's Wi-Fi set up,
yep.
they're at an opportunity to get breached?
Absolutely. So what I used to do in my previous experiences, I used to pen test a lot on post. So basically I would drive around and find vulnerable Wi-Fi spots, or what we call SSIDs, somebody broadcasting Wi-Fi, and I would try to break into it. Huh. So even though you have your SSID and you have your password on there, it does not necessarily mean that you are protected, because there are people out here that have things on their car, or they're just scanning to see how they can get into your network, right? So, I don't want to.
What could happen if they get into your network? Like,
I mean, if they get into your network, let's see who takes their home PC off their network when they leave. Probably nobody. Mm-hmm. And I guarantee you, about 90% of Americans, me included, have Google Chrome browser remembers your passwords. Right? You don't sign off from the browser. So hypothetically,
my bank account's on there.
Hypothetically, I go by your house. Somebody goes, he can park right there. Have this thing. There's different programs. We used to use something called Flying Squirrel, but scan it. He can see that I'm broadcasting. Oh, what is this CYBERNERD 2G? Oh, it's got a lock on it. That's all right. Here's this program. I'll try to brute force into it. And they get into it, they can just connect network share to your computer, get onto your computer, get your files. I mean, it is easier. It's more easier. A lot of people's like, oh, there's stuff in the movies. No, we used to do it for a living. I can turn on your Bluetooth while your Bluetooth is off.
And it's crazy. We went to lunch earlier, and you just grabbed on your phone.
Yeah.
And you paid.
Yeah.
Right then and there.
Yeah. So imagine your phone. Your phone's something else.
And your phone's Bluetooth. Mine is to my house. Like,
yeah.
I go in, my iHome setup.
Yep.
My laptops are all connected.
Yep. Same here.
So I mean, what's something as a business owner that they could do to prevent that? Is there something they can check or what's something to look at there?
So I would say, depending on how sensitive the information is, you could use a firewall, right? We're CYBERNERD's a Cisco partnered company, so we love the Meraki product. Firewalls are something simple and easy to set up that can protect your data or your information that's going on in your network. But if people don't want to go that route and want to spend thousands of dollars on thousands of money. English as a second language, brother. Thousands of dollars on that. Honestly, one of the main easiest setup is disable the SSID broadcast on your network. Why do you have to tell people that you have a network, right? You could go into your modem or your router, set it up to where you disable the broadcast, meaning only you know you have Wi-Fi, because 9 times out of 10, thieves or somebody like that, they're going to look for the easiest thing. Most vulnerable thing, right? Yeah. They're going to look for broadcasted networks. You can disable your networks. The other thing is you can lock it down to where only the MAC addresses from your computers are allowed to be on that network. There's a lot of things you can do easily that doesn't cost a lot of money that protects you and your data from being breached. Absolutely.
And when you're saying these big words, I know everybody's
I'm sorry.
No, I don't even know what that is.
Right.
But it's something as simple as okay, let's say I just registered for Time Warner, right? Because at my house I got a Time Warner box and I have the 5G. But that don't come with a built-in firewall, or it does?
So it does. You can. Your computers come with built-in firewalls. Windows has a firewall. It is not.
I don't have Windows anymore because of you.
Good man. My good man. Yeah.
I want to let you guys know that we have been in a huge month-long argument about me switching to Apple, and I did 2 nights ago.
So did it change your life though? I just want to put it on camera. From PC to Mac for what you do as a living.
For what I do. And we'll get into that here in a minute because I'm going to give them some tidbits for that. But it did change my life for the last 2 days. Facts.
Yeah. And I'm gonna give a shameless plug to your wife, Ann, because she was on my team. So you can be on Mac, on Team Mac. So
scoot into the frame over here. Scoot over this way. This way.
Yeah.
So, no, Ann, you don't get any credit for that. So anyways, so they don't have a built-in Wi-Fi on firewall all the time.
No, not all the time. Depends on what kind of router you get and stuff like that. Most of the modems that you get from Spectrum, they have their own firewall, and they do a pretty nice job of protecting stuff, but honestly, they're not going to look at the millions of customers they got all the time. They're worried about their network and their infrastructure.
Well, so you bring up customers. That's a good point. I actually have a local small shop that I do some marketing for. They're tiny, but they have a big customer base, right?
Yeah.
I know they don't have a very good firewall setup.
Yeah.
And so they need to protect their customers some more. I actually gave them your card, but I know that anybody could go in and take all their information. And that's something a lot of small businesses don't even think about.
Yeah. When
you collect people's data, you're still liable for it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's take, for example, Visa. They were responsible for their breach.
Oh, they did catch one.
Yeah, the credit monitoring people, Experian, all them, they were liable because they didn't protect the information good enough. So there's things, man, and honestly, if you guys have questions about it, I'll no charge go to your thing and give you kind of like a little rundown on what you can do. And if you want me to do the work, we can talk after that. But there's nothing wrong with looking at it and evaluating your network and seeing where your vulnerabilities are, so we can protect that stuff for them. Absolutely.
Yeah. So let's get on the topic about creating content, Windows versus Apple. Let's throw this out there. Everybody's like, I'm an Apple guy, I'm a Windows guy.
Yeah.
So why was it so important for you to talk me into Apple's versus Mac, or Apple's versus Windows? And I know the answer, but I'm asking so they know what I was going to.
Well, I looked at your setup, right? Your setup was a little different, right? You had everything Apple already. You were working on an iPhone, you have an Apple Watch, you have an iPad, You have everything Apple, and then I look at this monstrosity of a computer that you used to lug around. Literally, guys, do you remember in World War II the radio guy that used to call in? That was John on his backpack.
In my defense, it was only a 17-inch laptop that was a gaming computer that I did a lot of mobile editing on.
Okay, so that's what he tells himself to sleep at night. But literally, I mean, it was huge. It was from my experiences when I deal with customers that do Photoshop, customers that do Lightroom, video editing, to me, Mac is for that purpose, right? They're built in. They don't have all these processes running in the background like the PC machines do, right? Have you ever opened a PC machine or bought something new? How many different applications do you have already built in, already running, already taking your processing power? Mac is so simple, and they concentrate on, one, user-friendly. I think it's very user-friendly. A lot of people get scared for it.
That's what I was, dude. It's apps. Like, that's scary.
Right. Instead of a taskbar, they call it a dock. I mean, it's apples and oranges, but at the same time, it's just the simplicity that Mac puts into their designs and the power that machine has for what you do is 10 times over.
And so, just asking so anybody knows, you do service Macs and Windows?
I do all. So, yep, absolutely.
Man, yeah. So I will tell you, since I switched over to Apple, and here's my number one reason I switched over to Apple. The fact that I could airdrop my edited movies onto Instagram, killer. It was life changing for me.
Oh, absolutely. So you're always posting on the go, right?
Yeah, always.
Always. So why not have the ability to edit 6 videos last night, and then throughout the day from your phone post to your social media outlet?
Instead of get onto my laptop, put it on YouTube, burn it off YouTube, get it on. I was going through a lot.
You are.
Simpler now, thanks to my IT guy.
Absolutely.
So what do you see, man? What's one of the biggest problems that you see going into these businesses or the White House? Like, what do you see that has everybody at risk?
Operator errors, man. It comes. We call it PEBCAC, right? So PEBCAC stands for the problem exists between the chair and the keyboard, right? So PEBCAC.
I like how you just give it like a government name.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's PEBCAC. So because you don't want to go to the Joint Chief of Staff, or you don't want to go to somebody important and be like, operator error, dumb. So we come up with different meanings, and working with SolarWinds, they had this PEBCAC, and its problem exists between chair and keyboard. But basically, it boils down to operators, man. OPSEC, operational security, log off your computers, password protect your computers. The most vulnerabilities that I see in my DoD environment is insider threats. People pissed off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not to mention China and all these people. You'd be surprised if you monitor your firewall. And my wife can attest to this. So we have a pretty big setup here in my house because I deal with a lot of stuff. From my other contract work for DC, I have a pretty big firewall I have to set up. And I'll just notice sometimes, we'll look at the firewall and I'll show her, oh, look at this. Somebody from China with this IP address tried to ping my firewall 625 times. And thank you for overcalled me. I'm live.
Dude, that's going to be a nightmare. All these phones are ringing.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, because they're all connected.
I'm sure it was your wife trying to tell me you can't take the dog.
No, not at all. Oh, she's probably already called the police on you.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, you'd be surprised how many times people just try to ping firewalls from different IP addresses.
That's crazy. And it's something going into business you don't even think about. Like, I would have never thought of any of my companies being like, oh man, I hope somebody doesn't hijack me on my laptop.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just something to think about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Something to do. So, when you're out there in the field, tell me kind of what you do, like.
I mean, we do a lot of everything, man. So anything between cable infrastructure, structured cabling. If a company comes and says, hey man, I need 6 network drops located in different things, we'll figure out where the closet is. We'll run those lines for them. We'll do help desk. Right now we're in the process of being able to remote help desk anybody. If you come into us and have a service level agreement contract with me, I can be your help desk 24/7, keep you operational 99.99% of the time. That's what we call the trip nines that we talked about last time. Computer tune-ups, you name it, man. Data center stuff, if you need a network engineer. I mean, I've got our team.
You do everything from the biggest to the smallest.
Absolutely. Yep. If CYBERNERD doesn't have people on staff, we're subcontracted with some of the top people, and honestly, what I consider in the United States, being out of DC and me having that reach to the national capital region, that I have the engineers capable to do anything that we can do. So I don't want y'all to think that, oh no, they might not do that. Ask me, because if I can't do it myself, I know somebody that can help you out. So
how long you been doing this?
13 years now. 13 years, man. So yeah, no. Yeah,
everywhere from Iraq, you've been traveling all over.
Iraq, Kuwait, Afghanistan, Hawaii. They got me going everywhere, and I've been blessed enough to be put in a position where I can work, support our war fighters, which is a real important thing for me, but at the same time provide for my family doing what I love to do. So
yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
And have really cool dogs. For sure. No, man. So, I mean, yeah, you're here locally. You're in Central Texas. You can service anywhere, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Is there anything you want to tell them while we have you here? I knew this was going to be a shorter podcast, but I definitely want to get your stuff out there. And if you can help any business, I know they need your help because they're at risk right now.
Absolutely.
Especially if they have open Wi-Fi.
Absolutely.
That's the first thing.
First thing, just give me a call, man. You can reach out to us on our Facebook page. It's being managed by somebody I kind of know already. Mm-hmm. You know, and I mean, we're just a small IT company trying to help other small businesses out. I'm not, a lot of people get intimidated to call an IT company because all they think about is dollars, right?
It's a fact. It's the first thing, because that could get really expensive.
It can.
Think you can figure it out.
Right.
We just left one of my companies, right? You popped your head in.
Yeah.
And this is I'm gonna say $100 million company, maybe high 70s, maybe 100 million.
Yeah.
And their IT system, it was bad.
It was bad. Like, I mean, if I were to go in there, I wouldn't be able to. I would have to spend time just trying to find what cable goes to it. Nothing was labeled. Nothing was. So people don't understand how, from the cabling to how the system functionality, everything matters. Every tier of IT matters. So, yeah, man. Honestly, guys, don't be intimidated to call CYBERNERD. We're a small business IT company. We're a family-run business. I'm not out here. Don't get me wrong. I'm not out here to get super rich. It's not like, oh, call me. It's $100 for me to come out. No, absolutely not. Just give me a call. I've had clients before. Performance Motors is one of them.
Yeah.
I actually did a service call yesterday for Mountain View Productions, Kevin Martin and his wife Diana Martin.
Good people.
Awesome people, man. Yeah. They do awesome work.
Performance. Those guys are good.
Yeah, absolutely. But just call me. I'll do a service call. I'll let you know what's up. And that little service call goes into if you decide to do the work. If not, you're just paying for me to come out there and tell you, hey, this is what we're doing. But it's nothing like $100, $150, $200 an hour, nothing like that. Just give me a call, man. We'll square y'all.
Yeah, you're super just trying to build. And if you guys know anybody that could use Gabe's service, please recommend him. I speak nothing but highly things about him and his business. So
yeah, man.
Man, that's all I really got. You got any tips for these guys? We're having so I'm going to shamelessly plug myself.
You have to.
Which I don't usually do, but tomorrow we're having a free class in Belton. I will post the link somewhere along the way. It's at 1 o'clock for any social media tips and tricks with Monty Title Company. They're hosting it. They invited me out to speak, so I look forward to that. And I think Gabe's going to be there. So if you don't want to reach out by phone, talk to Gabe in person tomorrow. Come to the class. I'm sure we'll be putting on some more how-to videos, and Gabe's got a lot of things. He's actually going to be the whole reason we set up today. He's got a podcast he's going to be setting up.
Yeah, absolutely. So CYBERNERD's going to do a podcast on tech, right? So every week we'll have a podcast on a different topic of technology, and what I think it's the trending techs that are coming up. We'll touch on what's coming out, what still works and is kind of old, but also a tidbit for the week on how you can protect yourself and how you can use technology for an advantage and don't let it overwhelm you. So
love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll drop that link somewhere along the way.